The Phillies have a very interesting situation going on in the outfield. Left and right field are a lock with McCutchen and Harper, but center field is where things can get complicated. You got Roman Quinn and Adam Hazley as options. You've used Scott Kingery out there before, and with the infield already clogged up as it is, you don't really have a spot for Kingery other than the outfield, and they just signed Odubel Herrera to a minor league camp, although I doubt he makes the roster come opening day. So with that being said, let's evaluate the outfield. Over in left field, we have Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen is still trying to rehab and get back to 100% from that ACL injury he had in June of 2019, but he looked fine last year. There were some moments where he looked slower than normal and would get a bad jump on the ball in the field, but that's to be expected, especially since at the time, the injury happened just over a year ago. Kutch in 2020 batted .253 with 10 home runs and 34 RBIs. He's been a good leadoff batter for the Phils since he's come here and has a great veteran presence to the locker room. In addition to that, he's got a great personality and his teammates seem to love him. If McCutchen continues to be a solid leadoff guy for the Phils, then I see no reason why anyone else would start in left field over him. In right field, we have some guy named Bryce Harper. You may not have heard of him before, but he's pretty good and has some decent upside, I'd say. Bryce is going to continue to be Bryce. He's going to provide you with some really great play like his August of 2019, but slumps are going to come around as well. That's just the nature of the game. Regardless, Bryce Harper is must-watch television every time he steps into the batter's box. He's electric in the box, electric in the field. He's an electric player. He sells the tickets. He's been solid when it comes to the defensive side of the ball as well. He plays the game at 110%, gives you everything he has each and every night. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Harper wins the right field starting position and won't be on the bench to start the season. Now for the center field discussion, specifically Roman Quinn. We all know Roman can fly around the bases and can turn a single into a triple within 2 pitches. The issue with Roman is he can't really produce offense to get on the base paths and can never stay healthy. Roman's never batted above .230 in his career, and his strikeout percentages have gone up every year in his MLB career so far, striking out 24.5% of the time in 2018, 27.9% of the time in 2019, and 33.6% of the time in 2020. Roman's speed helps him out defensively because even if he gets a poor jump on the ball, his speed makes up for it and is able to get to the location. Roman most likely would be the lock to start if he had a better offensive game, so we are going to have to wait and see what happens and what unfolds in spring training. Adam Hazley is another candidate for the center field job. Hazley isn't anything special on offense himself, but he can produce and get on base, and most importantly, stays healthy. In 2020, Hazley produced a .278 average with a .348 on-base percentage. He doesn't really have that pop in the bat and is more of a contact guy, but you can live with that. Hazley is also very good on the defensive end and potentially could have Gold Glove potential one day if he keeps improving and is given the chance. The issue with Hazley is less to do with himself and more to do with the coaching staff. They don't play Hazley against other lefties for some reason. He really hasn't had a big sample size in-game against lefties to declare him as bad against same-handed pitching. However, the coaches must see something that we don't in practice because anytime a lefty is near the mound, Hazley is nowhere to be seen. I can see Adam Hazley getting the starting role, but once again, that depends on if he's facing a lefty or a righty at the dish. The final candidate for the center field job is Scott Kingery. Now, Scotty was a second baseman coming up to the majors, but has transitioned into a versatile guy who can play anywhere, essentially. Kingery had an abysmal 2020 campaign, batting .159 with a .228 on-base percentage. However, he was recovering from COVID during the summer camp that they had, so we really don't know how much of that played into his performance. But regardless, it was hard to watch. Scotty is fast, but not Roman Quinn fast, so he could give you some stolen bases, but once again, can he get on base is a question. He seems to be in that pull everything mode, the same one that Reese was in during his horrific play, so it really depends on if he can break out of that and improve at the plate. His defense doesn't hurt you out in center. Like I said, he's fast, so he can get to the balls in the gap pretty easily and gets a good jump majority of the time. Kingery also got a big payday before he even played a major league game, so you have to wonder how much of that is going to tie into him playing over Hazley or Quinn. If I had to guess, Scotty would start at center on opening day if the Phillies are facing a lefty. If they're facing a righty, I'm going to go out and say that Adam Hazley gets the start and Roman Quinn is used as a pinch runner sometime later during the game. I can see the Phillies implementing a platoon system between Kingery and Hazley. and giving Quinn some starts at center when McCutchen needs a day off and one of the two slide over to the left field. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like and subscribe for more Phillies and Eagles content, and I will see you tomorrow for the...
In the air.